This video is about the topic of anemia in pregnancy. Okay, so first of all, I would like to tell you the definition of anemia in pregnancy by WHO. According to WHO, when HB is less than 11 gram per deciliter or hematocrit is less than 32%, that is called anemia. Mild anemia is when HB is 9 to 10.9 gram per deciliter. Moderate anemia is when it is 7 to 8.9 gram per deciliter. Severe anemia is when it is less than 7 gram per deciliter. And very severe anemia is when it is less than 4 gram per deciliter. Now, what are the causes of iron deficiency anemia? We have different causes like blood loss, occult or overt blood losses, traumatic or surgical losses, hemorrhages, failure to meet increased requirement like rapid growth in infancy and adolescence, menstruation and pregnancy, and inadequate iron absorption. For example, in case of the diet low in heme and iron and gastrointestinal disease or surgery. Okay, so this is just a general figure showing the different types, different causes of the iron deficiency anemia. These are basically the different causes of anemia in overall. Okay, like iron deficiency. Secondly, no intake of nutritional supplement. Thirdly, diarrhea, heavy menstrual bleeding, PR bleeding, worm infestation, thalassemia in pregnancy, chronic malaria, cardiac causes, hyperthyroidism, drugs like methyldopa, chronic renal disease, and chronic liver disease. Now, incidence in our country is about 50%. Overall, in the world is 30 to 50%, and iron deficiency anemia percentage in total is 90%. Now, physiological causes, physiological changes in pregnancy. The facts that are important in relation to understanding of the topic of anemia. Plasma volume increases by 50%, red cell mass increases by 25%, mean cell volume increases secondary to erythropoiesis, HB concentration, hematocrit, and red cell count decrease because of hemodilation, and mean cell hemoglobin concentration remains stable. Now, what are the symptoms and signs of anemia in pregnancy? The symptoms and signs include the decreased exercise tolerance, fatigue, dizziness, irritability, weakness, palpitation, vertigo, shortness of breath, and chest pain. And the signs include tachycardia, pale appearance, which is most prominent in conjunctiva, decreased mental acuity, and increased intensity of some cardiac valvular murmur. Now, what investigations will we do? We will do complete blood count, ESR, and peripheral blood film. We will check serum iron profile as well and bone marrow study if needed, and we will investigate to determine the other causes of iron deficiency anemia like fetal occult blood, colonoscopy, and urine examination. And we need to know about certain normal values like in serum ferritin is 50 to 1000 microgram per deciliter. The serum ferritin should be more than 10 to 20 microgram per deciliter. And total iron binding capacity is 250 to 410 microgram per deciliter. Percentage saturation of transferrin should be more than 20%. Now, how would you manage a case of normocytic normochromic anemia? Oral iron should be the preferred first-line treatment for iron deficiency. A trial of oral iron should be considered as a first step, and further tests should be undertaken if there is no demonstrable rise of the HB at the 2 weeks and compliance has been checked. Okay, so initially give oral iron, and if there is no demonstrable rise of the HB in 2 weeks' time, then go for further testing. And pregnant women should be offered screening for anemia at booking and at 28 weeks of gestation. Women with the multiple pregnancies should have an additional full blood count done at the 20 to 24 weeks of gestation. Now we have different oral iron preparations like ferrous fumarate, ferrous gluconate, ferrous sulfate, polysaccharide iron complex. Okay, ferrous fumarate has iron concentration of 325, ferrous gluconate 240 to 325, ferrous sulfate 325 to 160, and polysaccharides 150 milligram. Elemental iron is different. Okay, elemental iron in ferrous fumarate is 106 milligram. In ferrous gluconate, it is 29 to 39 milligram, whereas it is 65 milligram in case of ferrous sulfate and 150 milligram in case of polysaccharide iron complex. Now, iron sucrose dose calculation, like the Venofer, Levofur, and different iron sucrose injections are available in the market, and there should be a specific protocol for prescribing it, and we should know how much dose is required by a specific patient. And this formula should be known to everyone, every doctor. Like normal HB minus patient HB multiplied by weight of the patient multiplied by 2.2 plus 1000, which is basically the iron store. In that way, we do iron sucrose dose calculation. Pharyngect contain ferric carboxy maltose monofer is also a very important injection of iron. Now, Cosmofer, Venofer, these are different brands. Parenteral iron includes iron dextran, iron sucrose, etc. Iron carboxy maltose dose calculation is done in a specific way, like the Pharyngect, which is available in the market. Okay, so one vial contain 10 ml. We have 10 ml vial, and each ml contain 50 milligram. So basically, this 10 ml vial contains 500 milligram. Okay, now if HB is more than 9 gram per deciliter but less than 11 gram, give 500 milligram iron, means one vial IV in 5 minutes without normal saline. So it is given directly. If HB is between 6 to 9, give 1000, means 2 vials IV in 15 minutes in plus saline, mean 100 ml diluted. Do not give Pladix, give in plus saline, because Pladix contain dextrose as well, so cause its degradation. So we will give plus saline, plain saline, not the Pladix. Now, this is another way of iron sucrose dose calculation. Roughly 250 milligram of parenteral iron raises 1 gram per deciliter of HB. If one vial of Venofer is 100 milligram, 2 vial is 2 milligram. So, if 4 gram HB is deficient, then how much parenteral iron we need to give? We need to give 250 plus 250 plus 250 plus 250, mean 1000 milligram. Means 4 doses of Venofer. Now, what to do in case of HB less than 7? If HB is less than 7 gram in labor or in immediate postpartum, the decision to transfuse should be made according to individual medical history symptom. And if HB is less than 7 in the postnatal period, whereas there is no ongoing or threat to the bleeding, the decision to transfuse should be made on informed individual basis. Now, when we transfuse, we should know about the delayed and acute hemolytic transfusion reactions. Delayed is when the onset of symptom is 5 to 10 days after RBC's transfusion. Silent symptoms include hemolytic anemia, jaundice, fever that can be asymptomatic. It is life-threatening. We can have life-threatening complications, but those are rare. And how would you do confirmation? Repeat type and screen to detect alloantibody. Treatment is supportive. When we have acute hemolytic transfusion reaction, that is abrupt onset of sign and symptom, and there is intravascular hemolysis, hypertension, fever, AKI, pain at the infusion site, DIC, pink plasma or urine. Treatment is stop the infusion, send the blood back to the blood bank to check for incompatibility and hemolysis. Supportive treatment with IVF and Bressel's diuresis. Question: which of the following statement regarding contemporary management of the patient with beta thalassemia major is true? A. Cardiac failure is the rare cause of the death. B. Development in the MRI have helped reduce mortality. C. Puberty is often precocious. D. Repeated blood transfusion and iron chelation therapy is no longer the cornerstone of medical management. And splenectomy is the mainstay of the modern treatment. Okay, now it's written that splenectomy is no longer the mainstay of treatment, but it's considered for thalassemia major intermedia who have splenectomy. So the answer is B. Okay, development in MRI have helped reduce mortality. Coming to another question: patient with anti-epileptics and HP is low, MCV increase and hypersegmented, neutrophil on peripheral films, neutropenia, thrombocytopenia, LDH increase, homocysteine increase. Diagnosis is folate deficiency anemia, which is typical in case of the patients with epilepsy. Okay, thank you so much. If you want to study more about anemia in pregnancy and to have more MCQs related to this topic, you can go to the blog which is written in the comment section of this video.